Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
To the Powassan Sportsplex, home of the Powassan Voodoos, for tonight's game between those Voodoos and the Greater Sudbury Cubs. Good evening, everyone. I am Matthew Sukram alongside Courtney Kenny, and we are happy to bring you this broadcast on Hockey TV and simulcasted on the Frontline Broadcast YouTube page. Tonight, the 1-1 Voodoos host the Greater Sudbury Wolves, and this is your La Herda Imports pregame show.
The pregame show is brought to you by La Herda Imports, family owned and operated since 1995. Visit LaHerdaImports.com for more details.
Well, Courtney, the Powassan Voodoos' lone loss this season came against these Greater Sudbury Cubs, and that was in the opening game of the year, but they did bounce back with a good victory against the Cochrane Crunch just a couple of days later here at home.
They did, and I was fortunate enough to be able to take in that game in Sudbury, Matt, where I got to see the Voodoos play against the Greater Sudbury Cubs, and really in that first period was the only time that they felt equal in the game. After that, Sudbury kind of took away with it in the second and third period, but Powassan with a big bounce back against Cochrane, where they pretty much dominated the play through most of the 60 minutes, and if you're head coach Peter Goulet of the Voodoos, you got to be pretty happy with that bounce back effort.
Yeah, I would think so, and maybe if you're the Greater Sudbury Cubs now, you're looking for a bounce-back effort as they're coming off their first loss of the season against the Espanola Paper Kings.
It's weird, eh? Because
I was about to say Express.
Yeah, they changed their name this season, and also on top of that, maybe a bit of a point of contention for the Greater Sudbury Cubs is they're no longer the affiliate of the Sudbury Wolves, but the Espanola Paper Kings are. So it's kind of like a few years ago when the North Bay Battalion decided, we'd rather go to the Pembroke Lumber Kings instead of the Powassan Voodoos. So we'll see if that has to do, but I'm sure that kind of upset the Greater Sudbury Cubs a little bit to lose to those affiliates.
All right, let's get into our players to watch tonight.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
All right, Courtney, let's start with the visiting Greater Sudbury Cubs. Who are we looking to watch tonight?
Well, a former North Bay Trapper, Marshall McCharles. His mother's in the building here tonight. Of course, North Bay Nugget reporter Jennifer McCharles. But he has 2 goals in 4 games so far. He was credited with an assist against the Voodoos in Game 1 of his NOJHL career, but they took it away when you look up his stats. He has 2 goals in 4 games, so 2 points altogether. And he hasn't looked out of place with the Cubs at all, and he is a draft pick of the Sudbury Wolves as well. Got to see him in camp in Sudbury, and it was kind of neat to see somebody who had played for the U16 Trappers last year playing for the Wolves in their scrimmages.
And he, along with Nolan Newton, are both former North Bay AAA Trappers, and they each have 2 goals on the young season. Let's flip over to the home side. Who's our player to watch for the Powassan Voodoos?
Got to go with Cameron Lemke. He scored the lone goal in Sudbury, and it was a highlight reel goal as he picked the puck up in the neutral zone and was able to skate all the way down into the Cubs zone and score and get the Voodoos on the board to make it a 1-1 hockey game at that moment. Unfortunately, the Cubs turned around later, but Lemke so far has been a leader on this Voodoos team, and we're hoping to see some more from him.
All right, that is your La Herda Imports pregame show. When we come back after the anthems, it'll be time for Puck Drop.
So without further ado, we ask you to rise, if able, remove your hats, and join Tim Scarrow for the singing of the American and Canadian national anthems.
The pregame show is brought to you by La Herda Imports, family owned and operated since 1995. Visit LaHerdaImports.com for more details.
we wrap up the national anthems, we want to send our condolences to the family of Brett Richardson. Brett's brother, Ty, passed away this week, and the Frontline podcast and the Voodoos send our deepest condolences to the family. Brett Richardson, a former Powassan Voodoo, and now playing in the CCHL. So, again, our condolences go out to the Richardson family.
Yeah, just wanted to add on to that, Matt. Brett Richardson, also a draft pick of the North Bay Battalion, looked good in camp this year, but he'll be plying his trade with the Pembroke Lumber Kings. Very sorry to hear of the passing of Ty, and as Matt mentioned, our thoughts go out to the Richardson family at the time. But for now, it's time for some hockey here in Powassan, and with the call, here's Matthew Sukram.
Kanan Flagel in net for the Powassan Voodoos, going up against Nathaniel Boys in net for the Greater Sudbury Cubs, and it's the Cubs attacking first, but now it's Ricci on the puck for the Voodoos, trying to get it up to the blue line. He'll skate around a defender, and he gets out into the Sudbury zone, passes back to Lemke. He gets pushed along the boards, and it's sent into the half boards, now into the left side corner. It's picked up there by the Cubs, and it's Tucker Shields trying to move it out of the zone. Blocked at the blue line, shot, they score! Bouncing puck gets past Boys, and the Voodoos are on top 1-0. Just 34 seconds into this game.
Quick goal for the Voodoos in this one, Matt, as the Powassan Voodoos able to get one past Boys quickly, and Flagel coming out to thank his teammates as he didn't look too sharp in that game in Sudbury. And it's the same goaltender here for the Cubs as well in Boys. So the Voodoos off to a quick start in this one, and he couldn't draw it up any better than that on their first shot on goal in this one, Matt.
Well, wait to see who actually gets credit on that goal. And it's going to be Nathan McDonald getting the goal. So playback underway as the Voodoos look to get it out. Down the ice, Smetham lost it on that hard chop at the blue line, and it's sent now back into the Voodoo zone, into the near side corner. Skating towards it is Biederman. Goes off the corner to the half hole to Walker, down to Sobush, who can't shoot it back in, and now it's Smetham going the other way. Smetham down left wing, fires it wide, glove side. At the line, it's kept in the zone by the Voodoos, and now played into the far side corner. Couple of players battle for it in behind the net, and the Cubs will look to skate it out of that area. They get it over the blue line, but Sefton has it for the Voodoos, and he dumps it right back in. Chasing it is Carson Crane of the Wolves. From out behind the net, he dumps it down the ice. This will be icing called as Sefton just beats out Cameron Shanks to that puck.
And worth mentioning is Nathan McDonald. That's his first NOJHL goal, Matt. So good to see him get on the board. And you know what? He might remind some people of a Nate McDonald who played here a couple of years ago, although he was a goaltender when the team won the championship in 2017. So no relation as far as we're aware, but hey, we'll take a goal anywhere.
Shot towards the net, that one stopped, and then another chop at it, goes behind the net. The Cubs look to clear it out of the zone. Up to the blue line, chasing it in is Sefton. Sefton gets beat to the puck by Innes, and then he got the puck back, but his clearing attempt is blocked, and the puck remains in the zone. On the far side boards now, a couple of hard checks, and now it's out. It's Caden Long going down the right wing side to the middle, drops it back to Service, and it's in behind the net. Service picks it up, carries it to the near side, and now it's cleared out to the neutral zone where Ricci has it. Ricci cross zone pass to the far side to Little. Little back across to Ricci on the near side. Ricci through the middle, sends it down the right wing for McMillan. McMillan falls down, lost the puck. It's shot right back in, but the Greater Sudbury Cubs are in control of the puck. They dump it in. Now they're going to go offside. Check that. It's going to be a hooking call, and that's going against the Powassan Voodoos, and McMillan is sent to the box. So it'll be the Greater Sudbury Cubs with the first power play opportunity here.
Well, that was one thing that the Voodoos did really well against Cochrane, was really, stifling them on the man when they had the man advantage. And here we'll have to see if Powassan continues that trend against the Cubs, who looked pretty good in that home opener or season opener against the Voodoos.
Face-off won by the Voodoos in their own zone, and it is cleared down the ice by Cameron Lemke. Courtney Kenny's player to watch for the Voodoo side, and the Cubs should have. into the neutral zone, sent down the ice by Oliver Smith. And the play is blown down. 3:02 gone in the first period. The Voodoos up 1-0, but they are short by a man right now for another minute 24 on the home side. Face-off won by the Cubs in their own zone. Innes has it, carries it behind the net, holding it back there. And now he comes out, down the left wing side. He finds Walker. Walker skates to the middle, now gets it up ahead to Smith, dumps it in behind the net, Walker there. To the far side, it's Biederman. To the point, Innes. To the near side, back to the far side, that's Biederman again. Goes back to the blue line, now turns and sends it into the corner to Sobush. Sobush back to Biederman. Biederman takes a stab at it. That one's stopped by the goaltender Flagel and cleared out of the zone. 40 seconds remaining in the Powassan penalty. 3:50 gone to open the game. Back inside the Voodoos zone. Shanks trying to control it for the Cubs behind the net. He's got two Voodoos penalty killers on him. It comes around to the near side, now chipped back behind the net. And now it is Shanks again back there with Fullerton. Fullerton making his season debut tonight. Still stuck on the board behind the net. And Fullerton just letting the clock run. Now it comes loose in the middle. Shot that just goes wide of the net. Played on the far side. There's a hard check. And the Voodoos will kill off the penalty kill here. 4.5 gone to open the first period. And that is Crowder now moving down the ice. Crowder shoots it wide. Glove side on the goaltender Flagel. Ricochets down the ice. Picked up quickly by the Cubs. Into the neutral zone. That is Lemke. Lemke gets around Crowder. Lemke gets around another defender. Lemke gets free. In alone. Puts it in net. And they can't bear it. Secondary opportunity from the hash marks. And that one is stopped as well by the goaltender boys.
What an effort for Cameron Lemke on that one to really start up a dangerous scoring play for the Voodoos. Whereas, it looked like they were going to get nothing on that play. Gets it out front. Unfortunately, a fanned on the one-timer in the slot. But then it got right back out to Sefton at the blue line, who was able to get the puck in on boys and create a scoring opportunity again.
Face-off inside the Cubs zone. The puck moved down to the boards. Harris knocks it away, and it goes out to the neutral zone. It's being carried by Walker. He shoots it wide of the net, picked up in the near side corner. Harris battling down there for the Cubs. Landers as well. The Voodoos trying to get it out of the area with Lemke taking charge. Lemke on the half boards, he gets pushed down. Scott trying to help him out, as well as looked like Rousseau there for the Voodoos. They get it out of the zone and it's sent all the way down the ice. Five and a half in, 1-0 Voodoos. On the far side, the Voodoos clear, and that is Scott who sent it down the ice. The Cubs look to break it out again, moving through the neutral zone with some speed. That's Nolan Nugent, former AAA drafter. Nugent plays it to the near side to Smith. Smith sends it in behind the net. Picking up back there is Martin McCharles. He gets it knocked off his stick, and it's out to the neutral zone. The Voodoos down the other way. They lose control of the puck, and the Cubs going back and forth now. Down the left side. That is Newton in the middle again. Into the corner, knocked away by the Voodoos, and it's out to the half court on the near side. Plays back in the neutral zone. McCharles to the middle. That gets blocked, and Sefton is able to get it, or get the Sefton for the Voodoos. Gets it into the zone at the blue line. Knocked away, and the shot is high in the net. Chippies lay along in the near side boards. Picked up by Sobich in the neutral zone. Puck gets moved all the way into the Cubs' end. They look for a long clearing attempt. It's up high, comes down in the line, and Walker has it for the Cubs going into the zone. There's going to be a penalty coming up. Walker has it wide open, and the save is made by Flagel. Walker walks into the slot and took a wide open shot, but he sent it right back into the chest of Flagel for the save.
What a great effort by the Voodoos defensively, and a great play by Flagel, who's able to stop that puck and keep it a 1-0 game for Powassan 7 minutes in. Shots on goal 4-2 in favor of the Voodoos right now, as the Powassan Voodoos go back to the penalty kill here, Matt.
I would believe slash is the call there. Check that, another hooking call. And so the Cubs have a chance to equalize this game. Walker in the near side corner for the Cubs. Looking for an outlet pass. He sends it across the slot. And the shot got, I don't know if it got stopped or if he just completely misfired on that beautiful setup pass from Walker. Now coming back into the zone and Peterman. His pass from there gets blocked. And the Voodoos are able to clear again. Foot race to the puck all the way down the other way. Innes and Lemke battle for it. And Innes for the Cubs comes away with the puck. Innes sends it up ahead to Smith.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
Tonight's broadcast, the Powassan Voodoos and the Greater Sudbury Cubs. It's a 2-0 lead for the home side here at the Powassan Sportsplex. We thank you for joining us on Hockey TV and as well on the Frontline YouTube page. Matthew Sukram with you here alongside Courtney Kenny as the puck gets sent into the Cubs zone. Boys plays it out, and it's Sobush who can't handle it in the neutral zone. Smetham gets it up ahead, almost a breakaway opportunity for O'Brien, but it's knocked off his stick and right towards the goaltender boys. 37 seconds into the second period, and we want to thank our broadcast sponsor for getting us here tonight.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Opportunity now for the Voodoos in behind the net. That's check that Patrick. Sent around to the near side, but the Cubs are able to break out of the zone. Shot right back in and punched away by the goaltender boys. Patrick in the far side corner. Sends it on net, gets his own rebound, and he fires it wide. Late in the near side, the Cubs back in control, looking to get it out of their zone. On the far side, that is Crane. Getting it to McCharles in the neutral zone. Turnover. McCharles gets it back. Little poke check. Gets it up ahead. The Cubs coming in with numbers. McCharles sends it in front, and they can't get a good shot off. They might have had Flagel beat there. He was down, a little out of position, being pulled to his glove side post, but they couldn't get a shot off at the end, and now the Cubs continue to attack. At the line, kept in the zone by Crane. Chips it in the corner, centering pass, gets through everybody, and it's out to the neutral zone. That is Toffoli. Plays it to the far side, now back into the neutral zone. Kicked off the skate, and it is Kevion controlling it in the Sudbury zone. Gets it up to Crowder. Crowder down the middle, skating with speed is Smith. Smith shoots it, goes off his skate and into the far side corner in the Voodoos zone. The Voodoos, after scoring the first goal of the game, played a majority of the contest in the defensive zone in that opening period, but they were able to hold off 2 penalty kills. And now the Voodoos on the counterattack. That's Long right in front, but he can't bury it on the backhand. Long down to the point. Sends it back behind the net. Service is there. Service turns back to his right. Down to the point again. And the Voodoos could not hold it in there. At the line was Fullerton. And as he dumps it in, it is a offside call against the Powassan Voodoos.
Another fast starting game or period here between the Voodoos and the Cubs. The Voodoos are up to 11 shots. The Cubs have 8 in the period. And just a quick mention of the first period scoring. The opening goal was done by Nathan McDonald. The second one was by Carson Ricci. And the Voodoos are flying 2-0 here, just under 3 minutes into the second.
Face-off won by the Voodoos. Shot made, blocker saved by boys, and then he had to make another stab at it as it came off the glass behind the net. McDonald has it at the half boards, down to Little. He finds McDonald again. In behind the net, that's Lemke back there. Back to McDonald on the near side. The Voodoos on the power play here. To the left side. Service. Now Lemke. Try to dish it off behind the net. That play is broken up by Kevion. up to Sobush, and they clear it down the ice. So second power play opportunity of the game here for the Powassan Voodoos. Cole Crowder in the box for cross-checking. Dumping it back in, immediately cleared. Chance on net, short-handed, and the Cubs cannot convert. Now the Voodoos go the other way. McDonald into the corner. Being aided by Shields. Shields centers, only white jerseys in the area, and that's sent down the ice. O'Brien down the right wing, centers to the left side. Lemke back in front, and they can't bury it. A nice passing play going into the zone. Smetham just could not finish that play. Now it's Thies with it. Thies with the shot. Off the end boards. Ricci on the far side. Knocked away, and now the Cubs 2-on-2 into the other end. There's a shot, and it's off the pads of the goaltender Flagel. Kicked into the near side corner. Battling down there, Sobush for the Cubs. In behind the net, Ricci controls it, and he'll get out of the zone with it. Feeds it up ahead to O'Brien down the right wing side. O'Brien sends it on net. Quick save made off the left side. That is Patrick over there into the corner. He's got Smetham with it. Patrick and Smetham looking for control, but it's knocked away, and it is Biederman coming out of the zone with it. Penalty's over. We're back to 5-on-5 with about 5 minutes gone in the second period. The Voodoos holding a 2-0 lead here. Both goals coming in the opening frame. It is Walker in the neutral zone, sending it down the left wing for Toffoli. Knocked off his skates, and it is sent the other way by Thies. Thies gets it into the zone, but it's taken out quickly by the Cubs. Down into the Voodoos, and Biederman trying to get a beat on it. And it goes around to the near side blue line. And it's back in the zone. This is Toffoli coming in, makes a move, sends it to the right side, they score. Billy Biederman beats the goaltender, and the Cubs are on the board. It's 2-1.
And that's Biederman's fourth goal of the season already through 5 games played. So, he's been on fire for the Cubs so far this season. He's got 4 goals, 3 assists so far on the year. So he's definitely a dangerous player for those Cubs, and I just got to call you out. I don't appreciate those puns on this broadcast. We got to keep it family friendly here, Matt.
Bears beats Billy Biederman.
Oh no. The old bait and switch with Billy Biederman.
5:26 into the second, and the Cubs are on the board. And you knew it was going to be a tough go to keep them off the board in the second. Like I was saying earlier on in the broadcast, they were really buzzing after both goals. Actually, they had good opportunities. The Voodoos were able to just play some stingy defense in that opening frame. However, the Cubs get one back here in the second.
They do indeed, and they split that lead in half. And it's also a busy night in the NOJHL. We'll get to some out-of-town scores here at the next break of play, assuming no team scores a goal. I was going to do it on that one, but Biederman beat me to the punch.
There you go. Sent down the ice. Icing waved off as the Voodoos get to it. Centering pass. Lots of traffic in front. Douglas shot. Does it get through it? Missed everybody. Ricocheted off the boards. Little can't find it. Down the ice. It's Toffoli in. His shot stopped by the goaltender Flagel, but then he was flailing around trying to find it. Now back in front of the net. Kick save made by Flagel as he robs Sobush on that one. Still in play behind the net. Everybody battling for it back there. Sobush gets control of it to the blue line. That one's knocked away and out of the zone, and the Voodoos will look to calm things down after that opportunity by the Cubs. Into the neutral zone. Siren with it now. He dumps it in. Check that. That was Noah Cohan that was coming in on that breakaway opportunity. He is a first-year player out of Hanmer, Ontario. Sent down into the Voodoos zone. Check that into the Cubs zone. The Voodoos in control. They try to get the pass up to the blue line. That goes off the skate of Sefton. And now picked up by Mazzotta. Mazzotta gets stopped in the neutral zone, and the Voodoos go the other way. Russo, one of the affiliate players who is playing with the North Bay Trappers this year, gets it in towards the net. There's a chance, and that one's turned aside by the goaltender boys, who's now made 13 stops on the evening. Sent into the Powassan zone, and Flagel sends it around all the way off the boards and out to the neutral zone, where the defender Mazzotta plays it. Into the neutral zone, the Voodoos off a stick and out of play. Let's turn to the out-of-town scoreboard update, Courtney.
Well, after the first period of play, the Timmins Rock lead the Cochrane Crunch 3-0. At the start of the second, the Hearst Lumberjacks hold a 3-1 lead on the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners. Midway through the second, it's all tied up at 1 between the French River Rapids and Sioux Thunderbirds. Out west, the Elliott Lake Red Wings, not Wildcats like they used to be, and the Sioux Eagles are tied at 0-0 at the start of the first. And midway through the first period, Espanola has a 1-0 lead on Blind River, Matt.
This league has changed so much in the 6 or 7 years since I've been calling NOJHL full-time. I did 3 years with the North Bay Trappers, and Blind River was in there, and the Sioux Thunderbirds were the same, but yeah, there's a lot that's changed.
Yeah, I remember the Blind River Beavers from the old Skyhawks days.
That's right. 12 minutes remaining in this second period. It's a 2-1 lead for the Voodoos. Trying to dig it out of the corner. Service is there. Service up to the blue line. Chips it ahead, trying to get it past McCharles. McCharles stops that rush, but then they can't clear. Long is in there, battling McCharles for the puck. And now it's on the stick of Smith, who gets hit hard. Smith just got sent back to the Cubs from the Barrie Colts. Another one of the affiliate players here that the Cubs have on their roster. Into the neutral zone, a foot race to it, trying to get to the puck. The Voodoos, they will. And it is taken control by Bohr in behind the net. Trying to send it in front was Sauvignac, I believe. It might have been Scott. And Scott gets the turnover there. No, Patrick's going to get called here. Tripping, coming against the Voodoos. And so with just under 11 minutes to play, Powassan going back to the penalty kill.
So far, Powassan has been great on the penalty kill at home anyways. So we'll have to see that. And just before we get to that point, I got some useless information because you mentioned the North Bay Trappers. You can trace the Hearst Lumberjacks all the way back to the North Bay Trappers as the Trappers moved to Mattawa for a season, then went back up to Iroquois Falls for a year, and then they were sold promptly to Hearst a year after that.
That's right. So that's the original NOJHL North Bay Trappers franchise.
Yep, previously known as the Skyhawks as well when they first came to North Bay.
So the first 20 seconds are gone. Killed off by that information by Courtney Kenny. Back into the Voodoo zone. The Cubs with the 5-4 advantage here. Behind the net, that's Sobush. Looking to send it to the line. There's a shot. Glove save made by Flagel, and he holds onto it for the stoppage here.
You know, I've been told that my information can be pretty boring and put people to sleep some before, but I've never heard killed off by that information by Courtney Kenny before. I don't know how to take that. I'll take it as a badge of honor, I guess, because if I don't, then I'd just be really offended by that.
Face off inside the Powassan zone, down the point, Innes. To the right side, that's Smith. Smith plays it in the corner. Now he tracks back, sending it to the near side. That's Biederman, the goal scorer of note for the Cubs. Plays it in behind the net for Sobush. Sobush sending it back to the right side for Smith. Smith turning, goes back to the line. Sends it to Innes. Innes with a shot. Wide of the net. Goaltender down. Puck still loose. Picked up on the far side by Smith. Smith seats back to the blue line. Now finds Innes again. Innes to left side. Coming in. It's knocked off the stick of Biederman. But a chance at the side of the net is turned aside by Flagel. Into the near side corner. That's Sobush. Sobush to the blue line. Holding it there. Now Biederman. Biederman. Cross zone pass to Smith. His shot is blocked. Still loose. Another hard shot comes in that's stopped. In behind the net. Played back there by, I believe that's Joffrey. Now to the left side, and he fans on the shot. Biederman was wide open, but that time he got denied. Biederman again to the point. Innes, right side, Smith shot. Just wide, glove side. Ricocheted off the board, sent down the ice. 10 seconds to go in the Powassan penalty kill. And it's Biederman coming back into the zone down the left wing. Biederman sends it on net. Save made by Flagel. He just kicks out the left side pad to keep that puck out of the back of the net and effectively ends the penalty kill here. Oh man, when they say your goaltender has to be the best penalty killer, Flagel certainly living up to that in that PK.
Again, he's looking like a different goalie here than in that game against the Cubs in Sudbury.
Play back underway as we're back to 5-on-5 with 8.5 to go in the period. And it's picked up at the Powassan blue line by Shields, and he'll send it down into the Cubs zone. At the blue line, the Cubs send it all the way back down the other way, and that will be icing called. And we should be approaching our mid-period break here.
No, the NOJHL's weird where if it's on icing or a penalty or a goal, there's no mid-period break.
Icing, penalty, and a goal.
Yeah, so you got to watch out for that. All my years with the PA, I'd get ready to play a certain song, like YMCA or something where you could at least get to the chorus to get people going. And then you'd have to be like, oh, no, never mind. It's not this break because it was an icing call. It's really strange that way.
Would you just play it again?
Maybe.
The best DJs are the ones who go to the wedding and go, how about YMCA again? Here comes Crowder down the ice. Great defensive play on the back check there by Thomas Sefton. In behind the net. Sefton again with it. Sends it to the near side. Out to the neutral zone. Play picked off, and this is Crowder again. Into the Voodoos zone, and Powassan in control. Flipping it along the boards. McMillan gets it out to the neutral zone. Rousseau reaching for it. Now he has Scott helping him out. He goes into the right wing side. Chipped along the net, bouncing puck, and the goaltender boys had to be quick there. Still behind the net. Scott's there, along with McMillan. And it's McMillan skating to the far side corner with 7:10 to go in the period. 2-1 Powassan lead as the Cubs play some tough defense in that corner. It's the Voodoos who get the puck away. Shot from the line wide. Now Thies sends it back in. Picked up behind the net. Kevion trying to clear. Still in the zone, and now comes loose. It's Thies who picks it up behind his own blue line. Now go down the left wing side. He gets tripped up. No call coming there. Caden Long with it. Feeds it up ahead to Service. Coming in on the right wing side. Service stopped in the corner as he battles Crowder, who's got at least a foot on him and sides there. Playing it into the far side corner now. Long to the point. The shot comes in. Glove save made, and that will take us to our mid-period break. And we once again want to thank our sponsor for tonight's broadcast. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Well, we talked about Flagel a little bit, and we got to bring him up again. You mentioned that he's been the best penalty killer for the Voodoos this game, and you can't take that away from him. Again, looking very much like a different goaltender than he did against the Sudbury Cubs in Sudbury, where he just looked unsure of himself, like I mentioned. But this game, he looks calm and poised and very confident in his play. Even if he's scrambling a little bit, he doesn't make any erratic moves. He's there to block the puck, and he's there to make this game-saving stop, basically, at this point in the game, Matt, which is hard to say in the second period, but he's made a couple of big ones that if this score holds up, we'll have to look back on it. And just to a previous comment, if and when I ever get married, I'm going to pay the DJ to only play YMCA.
Wow. All right, I can't wait to see that. Here's McDonald into the Cubs zone. in behind the net. Centered. Lemke's shot. Wide glove side. Picked up on the far side. Blue line by Ricci. Tries to play it in the corner. Back down to Ricci's blue line. And it gets past him, and now the Cubs have a bit of a lead here. It's a 2-on-1 into the zone. Shot in and out of the glove of Flagel and picked up by Little. And Little will look to carry it out of the zone, and he makes a move, and it's a 2-on-1 the other way. It's Little down the left wing. Gets stopped, and now he'll chase it into the corner. Little back there. Now plays it behind the net for McDonald. McDonald, who had one of the goals in the first period, looks to play it to the near side, but none of the Voodoos players advanced into the zone. And so that will allow the Cubs to just take control and take it down the ice. Controlled in the zone by the Cubs. Shot on net, stopped, and then kicked off a skate and wide of the net. And that one is played out. 5:11 to go in the second period. The Voodoos hanging on to a 2-1 lead. The Cubs have the lone goal of this period.
The Cubs and Voodoos again playing a lot of back and forth hockey as the shots are now 20-16 in favor of the Cubs. But we've seen it before where the Cubs will take control for a few minutes and Powassan will go the other way and take control. And man, if that 2-on-1 with Alex Little had converted, that would have been a huge insurance goal for the Voodoos at this point.
Play on the far side of the Voodoo zone. Patrick trying to dig away there for the home side club. And he is able to get it free, and he's got a lot of space to work with on the near side. And he utilizes it to get it out of the zone, but it's gloved down quickly by Toffoli and sent into the near side of the Voodoo's end. It goes all the way around the boards, and it's cleared out into the neutral zone. Now the Cubs go the other way. That is Newton. Centers in. The shot save made by Flagel, going post to post and keeping the pad down on that attempt. Back in behind the net. Chasing it back there is Fullerton. Fullerton again making his season debut tonight for the Powassan Voodoos after taking a hard hit against Carleton Place in the season, preseason tournament, I should say. Back to McDonald. In behind the net. McDonald now looking for the pass. Sends it to the point. Shot comes in wide of the net. To the near side. McCharles gets it out and down the ice. Chasing it is Douglas, and that will be icing against the Cubs.
Newton can't buy a goal here in his former backyard as the former North Bay Trapper. Can't seem to buy a goal here against the Powassan Voodoos, and you know he's got to be him and McCharles both have to be anticipating this game, as this will be the closest to North Bay they get in the NOJHL, and you know, playing in front of family and friends and all that. And Newton, that's twice now where he's had a great opportunity. He's just been stymied by Flagel.
Off the draw, the Voodoos have to flip it back into the Cubs zone. Under 4 to play in the second period. There's a hard hit. Shields going after McCharles there. At the blue line, McCharles drops it back. And the Cubs look to fire it forward. Toffoli dumping it in. Check that, Mazzotta dumping it in. Flipped around on the near side. No, kept in the zone. Weird bounce there to keep the play alive for the Cubs in the offensive end. Innes moving it down the half board. Big scrum along the boards here. Still looking to free it. Shanks gets it to the line to Ellis, and now it's cleared, and that will be icing called against the Powassan Voodoos. Well, folks, we want to thank you so much for joining us on tonight's broadcast, and don't forget to check out the Frontline podcast. 2 episodes already for you that you can check out wherever you download your favorite podcast from. Don't forget to subscribe for all the latest all season.
Yeah, and a 3rd episode hopefully coming here shortly. I can promise you there will at least be a 3rd episode within a week. Maybe a 4th, who knows, but we should be having one here shortly as we're looking to get a couple of more battalion players and a couple of Voodoos players as well, Matt.
Absolutely, and we want to invite you as well to join in on the fun all season long. Interact with us on all our social media platforms as well, whether you've got questions for the Voodoos, questions for the battalion, or just questions about life in general. We will be there for a shoulder and support.
And of course, if you want, we haven't yet done it, but we teased it a little bit in the very first episode of the Frontline with Adam Conton, who's our social media guy, talking about how Bob Coles might do the latest TikTok dance. Well, I'm expecting now with the theme of this broadcast being all about the YMCA, we got to get Bob to do the YMCA dance, right? So I mean, come on now.
That's it. Is Bob listening tonight?
I hope so. Bob, if you're listening, get your YMCA prepared.
2:40 to go in the second period.
I want him dressed up like the cop from the Village People.
Yeah. Well, if we have a game around Halloween, I think we'd all have to do that. If you want to become a Patreon and see that, we can make that happen. Here we go.
We'll also have a Bob Coles Chia Pet, too, while we're at it.
2:18 remaining in the period as the puck is flipped over the glass and out of play. And again, it's just been a lot of back and forth play. No one has really taken control of this period. You've had the one goal by the Cubs, Billy Biederman at 5:26, and that has been it so far in the second period.
Yeah, and the Cubs really, like I mentioned, they've taken control here and there, but the Voodoos just go right back, and each team, getting spurts of a couple of minutes here and there with the control, but quickly the other team gains momentum again.
The Voodoos have been held to just 6 shots on net in this period, while the Sudbury Cubs up to 14 in this period. Play in behind the Voodoos net. Up to the line and still in the zone. Service, it's out of his reach. Goes to the far side. Chipped along the boards, looking for some room. They send it on net. That's stopped by Ricci, and he'll send it down the ice. And that will be icing again against the Powassan Voodoos. I don't know if they're tired out at this point of the period with a minute 27 left, or if they're just miscommunicating. But that's a couple of times now where all they've done is flipped it down the ice, and there's no one been there to be on the receiving end of if it's a stretch pass they're looking for.
Yeah, and it might just be some mental errors there as well with the team as they're all still trying to gel, only playing 3 games this year, trying to figure out their systems, trying to figure out where each person's going to be on the ice, but it hasn't cost them as of yet.
Walker with the puck, looking to center it. That one gets blocked. Down to Toffoli. Toffoli falls at the line, but the Cubs keep it alive in the zone. Now it's cleared down the ice, and it'll go towards Boys, so no icing there. Picked up by the Cubs as they look to send it back down the ice. It's Thies with the puck. Cross to the far side, now back in the neutral zone. Dumped in by the Voodoos. McDonald first to it. McDonald, near side corner, behind the net to Lemke. Tried to play it to the point. It's stopped by Sobush, and he'll go the other way, down the left wing side. Sobush to the middle, takes a shot off the shoulder and out of play.
Yeah, that back wall there the Powassan Sportsplex is pretty beaten up from all the missed pucks that go up and miss it, as that is out of play.
There's no netting back there, right? Because no one can actually stand behind there. That's interesting.
But that is considered out of play if it goes over the glass. So it is a pretty beat up wall back there with the Canadian and American flags as well. So if you're upset with your government or something, just take a shot at the flag, I guess, at the same time.
Playing behind the Voodoos net. Trying to move that puck out of the area. And it's Little in control. The captain gets it to the neutral zone. And now it's played by Mazzotta of the Cubs. Mazzotta with 20 seconds to go. Looking for a breakout, and they almost turn the puck over. Now they get on the right page. Kicked ahead by Lemke. Can't control it. Back out to the neutral zone. And with 5 seconds to go, the Cubs coming in the zone. McCharles is there, but he can't get a shot off. 2 seconds to go, and this period is going to end with the Cubs getting the lone goal of the second period, but the Voodoos maintaining a 2-1 lead through 40 minutes, Courtney.
Yeah, very back and forth like we mentioned. It's been a heck of a hockey game so far, where it doesn't feel like one team is controlling the pace of play, unlike last Saturday when the Voodoos basically came out and had their way with the Cochrane crunch. Until they really made the goaltending change to Dubinsky, who really held it together for Cochrane in the second half of that game. So, yeah, it's been back and forth. It's been fun to call. It's been fun to watch. And I look forward to which promises to be a very excellent third period, Matt.
Once again, I want to thank our broadcast sponsor for getting us here tonight.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
So 40 minutes are in the books. It's 2-1 for the Powassan Voodoos. Courtney and I will step aside, and then when we come back, we'll bring you the third period live from the Powassan Sportsplex. You're watching tonight's game on Hockey TV and the Frontline Broadcast YouTube channel. Stay tuned.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478. You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Well, we welcome you back to the Powassan Sportsplex. The hometown Voodoos ahead 2-1 over the Greater Sudbury Cubs. Taking a look at how we got here, Nathan McDonald opened the scoring 35 seconds into the game with his first of the season. Carson Ricci followed that up at 18:58 with his first OHL goal. Both of those goals assisted by Alex Little, and Tucker Shields also had a helper on the second one. And then Billy Biederman, the only goal of the second period, his fourth of the season, assisted by Cole Kevion, that brought the Cubs within a goal. Let's take a look at our players to watch for tonight.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
So our two players to watch for this game are Marshall McCharles for the Sudbury Cubs and Cameron Lemke for the Powassan Voodoos. And McCharles is on the score sheet as he took a penalty, as we were talking off Mike. And Lemke hasn't added to the scoreboard yet, but he has looked like a very explosive version of himself and very motivated out there to do to Sudbury what they did to Powassan, and that's beat them in the season opening game in Sudbury a week and a bit ago at the Jerry McCrory Countryside Complex. So, again, those two players have been our players to watch. We'll have to see if they affect the game here in the third period as the linesmen and refs are coming back out on the ice, and the Voodoos are coming out, and the Cubs as well. So we'll get very excited to see what those two players can do, Matt.
And don't forget that our post-game show will include the 3 stars of the game, and the 3 stars of the game are brought to you by Dave's Auto.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
And now we'll also talk to you about our out-of-town scoreboard. Nearing the end of the second period, the Timmins Rock have a commanding 5-0 lead on the Cochrane Crunch. At the end of 40 minutes of play, the Hearst Lumberjacks are up 6-1 on the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners. After 40 minutes, the Sioux Thunderbirds lead French River 2-1. And in Sioux, Michigan, the Eagles have a 2-0 lead on the Elliott Lake Red Wings at the end of the first period. And midway through the second, Espanola has a 3-0 lead on Blind River. We're back now for the third period. Here's Matt Sukram with the call.
Thanks, Courtney. Sent into the Cubs zone. Voodoos battling for it. Into the corner. That's Lemke. Around on the far side. Out to the neutral zone. Lemke fires it back in. And that is the goaltender Boyce who leaves it. And one of the Cubs players, that was Mazzotta, didn't realize he didn't have control of the puck and briefly allowed the Voodoos an opportunity there, but nothing comes of it. Sent right back to Boyce off the half boards, and he'll hold on to it for stoppage and play 39 seconds into the third period.
Lots of back and forth action through 40 minutes of play. And, so far it's continued through the first almost 40 seconds of this period as well. So we'll have to see if one of these teams takes command here in the final few minutes of this third period, Matt.
Voodoos win the draw in the offensive zone. Played on the far side half boards. Patrick battling for the Voodoos. It gets knocked around behind the net. Crane for the Cubs. Sends it out. Douglas. Right below us, across to the far side. That's Thies who sends it down the ice and out of play.
As previously mentioned, the Cubs defeating the Voodoos a week and a bit ago in Sudbury 6-1. Marshall McCharles from North Bay originally credited with an assist in that game, because I mentioned it in my Bay Today article about the game. And then I'm looking at his stats right now. It says he only has 2 goals on the season, so I know he didn't score a goal in that game, so it's a little bit interesting. So he had 3 points on the year, but he was taken away. One of those points was taken away.
It's odd that, even with the technology that we have now and with all the eyes on the ice that you get now, it's amazing that some of those things still slip through the cracks sometimes.
Well, I shouldn't sewer him, but I will. But Seiji Martoni, a Powassan Voodoo player in 1920, was named NOJHL Player of the Week after scoring 12 points in like 2 or 3 games that year. That week. He would come back to the bench and tell us, I got an assist on that a lot, and we just put it down. In one game, he had 8 points. I don't think he had 8 points in a game. So I took the Player of the Week, and I sent it to him on Instagram. I said, you're welcome, buddy.
Amazing. Sent down the ice into the Voodoo zone. Service tries to clear it, and he will. As Crane couldn't hold the line for the Cubs. Caden Long down the ice. Some hard shoves on the end boards there. Long still battling for it. Into the near side corner. Down line is Sefton. Good pass from Long. Sefton sends it back behind the net for McDonald. McDonald working back down his left wing side. McDonald sends it back in the corner. It's out of the reach of Service, and it clears the zone. Thies chasing, and Thies will get to it. Off the right side boards to McDonald and dumped down the ice. 2:15 gone to open the third period. Voodoos holding on to a 2-1 lead. No official shots yet recorded by either side, I believe, in this frame. Into the neutral zone. Pass across to the near side. The Cubs, it's up in the air. They clear briefly, but now it's brought back in. Crowder gets it out of the zone. Into the neutral zone, Shanks. And on the far side, Ricci. In behind the net. That's Little. Play to the far side. Bohr over there. Back behind the net, Little. To Russo. Touches it to dump it down, Kevion. In the Cubs zone. Sends it down the middle. That's Landers coming in. Stops at the goal line in the near side corner. Now he gets pressured by 2 Voodoos players. Voodoos clear the zone. Mazzata sends it down the ice. In behind the net, the goaltender, Flagel's there. Almost turned it over behind the net. Picked up on the near side. Trying to clear it out of that area. Lemke flips it back. And down the ice. And that's McMillan dumping it in for the Voodoos. Almost 4 minutes gone in this third period. Cubs looking for the equalizer. That's Ellis dumping it in. Now Patrick behind the net. Flips it to the far side, kept in the zone. Mazzata shot in and out of the glove. Chance on the doorstep, turned aside. The Voodoos look to get it out of the zone. Can't get going forward with the momentum. Mazzata brings it back in. He's held up by Thies. Into the corner. Played behind the net. Thies there, in the corner, finds Patrick. Back to Thies. Out to the neutral zone. And it's chipped down the ice by O'Brien. Now Mazzata has it for the Cubs. He's been out there every other shift so far this period. 4:50 gone as it's brought back into the Voodoos' end. Play on the half boards on the far side. Big battle over there. The Voodoos get it out of the area. In behind the net. Believe that's Little back there. Check that Sefton. And he sends it to the point. Mazzata shot to keep it in briefly. Now it's cleared by Patrick. He finds Smetham coming in on the left wing side. He chips it towards the net minor Bulls, who lets it go. Now Smetham plays it back in. Out to the neutral zone. And it's Ricci down the left wing. Over the blue line. Takes a shot. Boys with the save. And holding it into his glove for a stoppage and play. 5:34 gone in the third. Voodoos holding on to this 2-1 lead.
And Ricci trying to shot almost from where he scored his the second goal of the game from, as he's a dangerous defenseman and looks to add some more offensive flair to his game so far this year. And he's well on his way after scoring a nice goal here earlier this game, Matt.
Defensive zone face-off won by the Cubs. They dump it down the ice. Ricci chasing it in behind the net. Plays it to the half-boards on the far side. That's Biederman there. Check that's Toffoli there. Plays it in the corner for McCharles. McCharles in behind the net for Newton. Newton held on the boards by Service. And now McCharles helps him out. Down to the point to Crane. Crane shot, stopped, in behind the net, Newton. Newton twisting, turning, holding on to the puck. Tried to skate to the middle, but couldn't do it all himself, and it's cleared out of the zone.
I was going to say there was a very obvious interference as Long was skating down the ice, trying to get to that puck, and then the Cubs defender, number 24, basically took him right out of the play entirely, and that was a good call by Jack Hennigan, the referee in that one, making the interference call.
So with 6:26 gone.
That's actually Nolan Newton that had the interference call against.
Service off the draw to the right side, Little. Backhands it in the corner. Now behind the net. To the near side, that's McDonald. McDonald goes back down low. Plays it up high to Service. To the right side, Little. Little fires it, tips, scores! Into the back of the net as Tucker Shields scores. That's his first of the season, and it gives the Voodoos a little bit of breathing room in the third. It's 3-1 Powassan.
Shields is somebody that the Voodoos head office and Chris Dawson and a lot of the coaching staff figures to help be a very prominent member of the offensive output by the Voodoos this season. And he gets his first NOJHL goal here in his third game again in this one, giving the Voodoos some breathing room on the power play to give them a 3-0 lead with 13:22 left in the third period.
If you're Daryl Moxham and the coaching staff of the Greater Sudbury Cubs, you are not happy with how that play turned out, leading to that power play.
Very unnecessary interference call taken for the Cubs for sure.
Especially through the first 3 minutes or so of the period, you had control of the puck. A lot of the play was spent inside the Voodoo zone, and now all that hard work and effort, it's going to have to be doubled now as you're down by a pair.
And that was also Powassan's first official shot of the period as well.
That's right. There's a shot from the line, save made by the goaltender Flagel. Shot coming in from the line by Ellis with 7:15 gone in the third.
Definitely a great effort for the Voodoos there on the man advantage. And that's something that they did against Cochrane really well as well, was play some good power play minutes as well and shut the other team down when it comes to the penalty kill. And Powassan's special teams so far this year looking sharp at home.
Sent around to the far side boards. McMillan gets it up the middle. Now to Lemke coming in on the left wing. He tried to play it to the middle. That got blocked. And it is turned away out of the zone. Lemke back in. Sending it to the middle. Trying to find McMillan. McMillan at the goal line. Into the corner. Still controlling that puck. Battling with Ellis. Now back in the corner. Sent on that, but it skates by. Now Ricci tried to follow that one up, but his stick tangled up a bit there. In behind the net now. Ellis has it. And he'll clear some space as the Voodoos change. Stretch pass gets it ahead to McCharles, and he cannot bury it. Oh, what a goal that would have been for Marshall McCharles. I mean, Ellis found him like a needle in a haystack there. Just beautiful setup pass, but McCharles couldn't finish the play. And now it's Russo for the Voodoos. They'll be spending most of the season with the North Bay Trappers U18 club. Called up today because of a couple of key injuries to the Voodoos. Scott chasing it into the Voodoo zone. Played around to the far side. Getting it out of the area is Fullerton. In the neutral zone now. That is Bohr on the far side. Off his stick and into the Voodoo's bench. Another stoppage in play here. 8:40 gone. In the third, 3-1, Voodoos lead.
Well, Russo has actually been named the captain of the U18 Trappers as well, so not that he's expected to bring leadership to the Voodoos when he's up as an affiliate player, but, he definitely brings that edge to his game, Matt, as he's able to, use some of his leadership instincts and put on a good showing here for what may be an audition for next season's Powassan team, as we get a quick icing call here with 11:07 left. But yeah, Russo, again, any affiliate player, I know Russo's one, I know Caleb Dawson is another, but any chance that you get to come up and play with, like, the quote-unquote big club, it's always good for an audition for maybe next season.
Service to take the draw in the offensive zone for the Voodoos. He wins it back to Sefton to the right side. The shot snaps the stick. And Jake Fullerton has to go back and get some new hardware. Into the neutral zone as the Cubs try to take advantage of that play. Sefton and Shanks battle for it on the end boards. Shanks gets out of the area, plays it to the point. That is Crane. Now to Shanks again. Crowder's on the doorstep, but it's turned aside. Back at the line. Long gets it out while taking the hit. Crane to the middle to Crowder. Into the Voodoo zone and cleared quickly. Crane again in the middle. Turns it over. Service gets knocked out of the play. Crane has it again behind his own blue line. It's sent forward. Coming into the zone is Landers. Into the corner, centering off a skate. They've got a chance here on the doorstep, and the shot is blocked by Sefton. Wow, the Cubs, they get close, and then they just seem to have trouble communicating on those last-ditch chances in those good, high percentage scoring areas. And now O'Brien from behind the blue line fires it in off the blocker of Boys. Picked up by Siren, and he finds Landers, who dumps it into the Voodoo's end. 10.5 played in the third. Landers and the Cubs chasing a 2-goal deficit. That one just missed. Siren at the line, fires it wide of the net. On the far side boards, O'Brien chips it ahead. Douglas tried to get it out. Biederman beats him to it. Coming in the zone. He gets knocked off the puck. And Patrick will clear for the Voodoos. Siren chasing it down. Got beat to it. And a nice play on the offensive by Smetham to get it away from the defender and make the goaltender Boys have to make a play there. Around on the near side. Siren. Lemke battle. It's Sobush with the shot, and this glove save is made by the goaltender Flagel, who holds onto it for a stoppage in play.
And that'll bring us to our mid-period break.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And a quick update on the out-of-town scoreboard at the start of the third. The Timmins Rock have a 5-0 lead on the Cochrane Crunch. No change in the Hearst Lumberjacks Kirkland Lake game as Hearst leads 6-1 at the start of the third period there. Midway through the final frame, the Sioux Thunderbirds are up 2-1 on the French River Rapids. In Sioux, Michigan, at the start of the second, the Eagles currently lead the Elliott Lake Red Wings 2-0. And in Espanola, midway through the second period, the Sudbury Wolves affiliate Paper Kings are up 3-0 on the Blind River Beavers.
3-1 the score here at the Powassan Sportsplex. The Voodoos just 2 shots on net in this period, but one of them has found the back of the net. Thanks to Tucker Shields, the Voodoos have expanded their lead 3-1 over the Greater Sudbury Cubs, and Alex Little, the captain, has an assist on all 3 goals tonight. Two primary, 1 secondary.
He looked really good in that game against Cochrane. He's looked really good again here tonight, Matt.
I feel like he hasn't had as much ice time, though, in this one as he did in that game, though.
No, but he is out there right now, so we'll see if he impacts the game in any way.
That was Matthew Mazzotta going in with speed just a moment ago, but got stopped at the blue line. And a big scrum on the half boards on the far side. Walker comes away. Mazzotta walking in, and he scores through the 5-hole of Flagel. And with 8:04 remaining in the third, the Cubs get one back. It's 3-2.
That's a really shame. It's a shame that that's how that goes in, is after making a couple of 10-bell saves earlier in this game. That one just beats Flagel. He wasn't able to close the 5-hole quick enough as Mazzotta picks up his third of the season. So the Sudbury Cubs, they've been high-flying offensively so far this season, with a couple of guys already up to 3 and 4 goals on the season. And what a great goal by Mazzotta to get the Cubs to back within one. But Flagel, he's going to beat himself up about that one.
Matthew Mazzotta, his first year here with the Greater Sudbury Cubs, he was, as you said, high-flying all over the ice. I mean, we mentioned it. I think he's been out there every second shift since the beginning of the third period, and he gets that's a well-deserved goal for him, and now the Voodoos will look to counterattack. Long to the point to Douglas. His shot off his stick and into the corner on the far side. Played on that far side by the Voodoos. Service walking in, and his shot goes high just over the shoulder of the goaltender boys. Flipped back around behind the net. Toffoli is back there for the Cubs. He turns it over at the line. The Voodoos keeping it alive. Long tried to get a shot off, couldn't. He was tangled up going towards the net. It clears the zone, and the Voodoos will send it back in and make a change. That allows the Cubs to bring it down the ice. It's Newton down the left wing side into the zone, sends it on net, and it's chipped away. Back out in front, and the Voodoos will have some time there to clear it out of the area. Newton just holding on to it. Newton will clear it, and it's McCharles down the right wing side. Gets past Sefton. McCharles to the middle to Smith. Back to the half board. Siren skating in with throwing a hit. Back in behind the net on the far side. It's cleared by Fullerton. Icing will be called.
And Biederman and Sobush picking up the assists in that one. So Biederman now with 2 points in this one. So he's had himself a heck of a game. If I was a betting man, I'd say he's definitely going to be one of the 3 stars they'll be talking about later with Dave's Automotive's 3 stars of the game in the post-game show. But, the Cubs doing everything that they can to get back within in striking distance of this one. And right now, Matt, how large does that Newton interference call loom now?
That's exactly it. Call early in the period, especially when you're coming out and you just need one, and the team's moving the puck well and getting some chances, and then that play directly results in a goal against you. So they got to get one more back now. And that's, you said, that's why it looms large. That extra effort and that extra hard work. Again, it has to be then doubled just to tie this game.
The Voodoos coming out here, like I mentioned, playing a much better game against these Cubs, though, but it's also a couple of things that we have to talk about that I've already mentioned. The size of the rink compared to the one in Sudbury. For both teams, the Voodoos looked a little bit out of gas in that bigger ice surface, whereas the Cubs, again, looking like they don't have as much time to finish off their plays.
6 minutes to go in the third. Mazzotta to the point, to the near side. That's Ellis. Fires it on net. Chance in front. Crowder cannot bury it. It goes off the crossbar. Crowder in behind the net. Shanks is there. Sends it to the point. Mazzotta looking to tie it. That goes high. In on the half boards on the near side. Cleared out of the zone. McMillan will race to it, but Ellis will beat him there. Ellis brings it back out to the neutral zone. McMillan touches the puck. And as he does, the arm goes up. And holding will be the call against McMillan, and what a big point here for the Voodoos to have to kill off a penalty. Check that, it's Shields that's going to the box with 5:35 to play in the third. It's a 3-2 Powassan lead.
Yeah, and Shields has the game-winning goal as of right now on the power play for Powassan. And again, someone that they figure to feature heavily on the offense this year. He's also wearing an A on his jersey this year, so they value his leadership. But they're not going to like that call here later in the third period.
Cubs get their power play underway. There's a shot from the line, off the post and out. Another chance coming in wide of the net. Walker has it to the half boards to Smith. Smith plays it to the line to Biederman. He's got one tonight. Biederman fires it on net just wide. Smith picks it up on the half boards on the near side. He gets knocked down. The Voodoos trying to get it out. Innes keeps it in for the Cubs. In the near side corner, Walker's there, trying to shovel the puck along the end boards. It goes in front. Loose puck. Is it covered up? Yes, the officials say it is, as Flagel jumps all over it to freeze it. 5:01 remaining in the third. The Voodoos hanging on now to a 3-2 lead.
I've come to a couple of games last year and stood next to General Manager Chris Dawson, and boy, he's something fun to watch. As there's a timeout here, actually, I believe against likely the Voodoos here as they look to regroup. We're just waiting for the announcement, but anyways, he's always a fun time. He's always a fun guy to watch a game with, and that's Chris Dawson, because he gets so animated on every play, especially because he's invested in this team as he's helped build this team as the general manager. But I can tell you right now, with 5:01 left on the clock, it's going to feel like an eternity for Mr. Dawson.
Yeah, I think he's in the corner taking some pictures, I guess, either for the website or whatnot. But, yeah, the 125, I think, is going to be even longer. If he can say, okay, let's just get back to 5:05, I might be able to breathe a little bit easier here.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure as you know, you've probably met Chris. He had a few more black hairs on his head than he does now.
Yeah. So play back underway. Smith for the Cubs in the corner. Moving it behind the net. Smith brings it back to the half boards. The pass at the line stays alive in the zone. Walker lets it go. The Voodoos can't clear. No, they do. Smith tried to hold the boards, just couldn't keep it in the zone. And that will kill some time on this penalty kill for the Voodoos. 50 seconds remaining as the Cubs bring it back up the ice. In the neutral zone, getting through is Walker. Walker tries to play it to the middle. Chip down the point to the near side. That's Smith. Walking in, cross zone pass on the left side. The shot goes wide. Picked up behind the net by Little, and he clears it. There will be about 30 seconds remaining as the Cubs bring it back up the ice in the penalty. With 4 minutes to go in the period, it's a 3-2 Powassan lead. Cubs almost turn it over. They get it back. Mazzotta going into the corner, down the point. Crowder can't keep it there, and he'll have to chase it. Service is going to beat him to the puck. Service now in the corner. And he's going to make the decision just to try to shield it to kill some time. 3 seconds remaining in the power play for the Cubs, and that effectively ends it. Back to 5-on-5 with 3:30 to go in the third. The Voodoos with a 3-2 lead. The Cubs looking to equalize it as Newton brings it back down. He's had a good game outside of that penalty call, perhaps. Sends it into the near corner. Mazzotta there again. Mazzotta tries to skate to the middle, knocked off his stick. It's Crowder in the corner. He plays it in behind the net. Bowling back there for it, Newton. Plays it back behind the net. It's taken away by Ricci. Off the backhand to the point. Shanks keeps it in. Shanks to the middle, to the left side. Shot comes in, kicks a made. Crowder with a rebound chance. Can't get it towards the net. In the far side corner, in behind the net. Trying to get it to the middle. It's off the hand of Newton. Stays in play, and now it's cleared. And if it goes the length of the ice, which it might not, icing gets waved off. 2:40 to play in the third period. Crowder brings it down the ice. Crowder makes a move. Drop pass back. Shot made. Rebound chance. It is over the line. Flagel had about 98% of that puck, but the last little bit just ricocheted off his shoulder, and it trickles across the goal line to tie the game at 3 with 2.5 to play in the third.
That looked like me playing left field in North Bay Men's League Baseball as I got the ball, but it promptly popped out of my glove just like that one with Flagel. Whereas you mentioned, yeah, he got 98% of it, but you need 100% of it to make the shot or to make the save. And Flagel, having a great game for the Voodoos now. Hopefully, they can keep momentum going their way as Sudbury scores one late here to tie the game at 3.
Ben Harris looks like he's getting credit for the goal. Good rush started there by Crowder of the Cubs to just go right down the middle and create all kinds of chaos in front of the net for Flagel. Crowder comes in at 6'5". So that's an imposing body barreling down the ice at you. And then screening the goaltender. Douglas lets it get past him, and he dumps it back in. And the Voodoos again held to just 2 shots in this period. Again, one of them went in, but they're being outshot 29-19 at this point of the game, and it's 3-3. Fullerton dumps it in. Walker for the Cubs on the half boards. Turns it over in front of the net. Service is there. Another chance. Loose puck. The Voodoos cannot score. Fullerton to the right side. Shot coming in. Loose again in the slot, but cleared away. Off the glass and out of the zone. Chasing it back was Thies, and it's sent down the left wing, but it's turned over, and now coming in for the Cubs is Crane. Sends it to McCharles. He sends it in the far side corner. Back in front. McCharles can't get the tip on it. Just over a minute to play as Long has it in the near side corner. Fullerton throws a hit. Long picks it up. Long moving through the neutral zone with speed. Caden Long coming in, takes a shot. Save made by the goaltender boys.
You mentioned Crowder. He did pick up the lone assist on that game-tying goal by Ben Harris. This is first of the season as well. So with 51.3 seconds left on the clock, the Voodoos finally showing some life, getting a couple of chances there late, and then picking up another shot by Caden Long. But the shot totals now favors the Cubs 29-21, Matt.
Face off inside the Cubs zone. That's won by the Voodoos. Ricci controlling it, takes a shot, bouncing puck, and it's in! The Voodoos take a 4-3 lead with 46 seconds remaining on the clock.
Looks like Shields is going to get his second. He says, you take away my game-winning goal? Not today. I'll get another one, maybe potentially, as there's 46 seconds left on the clock. And he was ready. He did get the third goal, and now he gets the fourth as Sudbury tries to plead their case a little bit. I don't know what they'd be pleading about, but it was a really weird bouncing puck, almost a knuckle puck that just kind of bounced its way through and maybe hit a body in front and redirected past Boyce, who himself has had a great game as well.
Yeah, that looked like all kinds of trouble for Ricci at the blue line, but he was able to fire that one in and just put it on net, and they're able to make it happen. The goaltender, Boyce, has left the net in the Cubs' end with 30 seconds remaining in the third. There's a chance on net. Kick save made by Flagel. Into the corner. Now back out in front. Pass across is blocked. Ellis to the Crowder at the line. It's Mazzotta back into the corner. It's stopped by the Voodoos. They clear it down the ice. Trying to catch up to the puck is Lemke. Lemke on the backhand scores, and that should do it. The Voodoos with a 5-3 lead with 7.8 seconds on the clock, and they look like they're going to get their revenge from opening night.
Well, I mean, Cameron Lemke was a player to watch in this game. He may have scored the empty netter, but hey, it's enough to give the Voodoos a 5-3 lead here, as you mentioned, with 7.8 seconds left on the clock, and a measure of revenge for Powassan here as a last-minute collapse a little bit here for Sudbury, who you would have thought had all the momentum after tying up the game late, ends up getting two here in the last minute.
Siren with the puck. They'll just play catch with it in their own zone, and the Powassan Voodoos will move to 2-1 on the young season and remain undefeated at home as they defeat the Sudbury Cubs 5-3 in what was a thrilling finish.
Very thrilling. We talked about how back and forth this game had been all game long, including coming into the third period. We said we hoped that it would be an entertaining third period as well. But the Voodoos end up coming out on top 5-3, as it was a bit of back and forth affair throughout the third period as well, before a flurry of goals in the last few minutes now as the Voodoos salute the home crowd.
Yeah, that was certainly a fun finish. Early on in the period, like you said, the Voodoos gave themselves a little bit of insurance with that power play goal, and then they really kind of sat back and let the Cubs really take it to them, and it almost blew up in their face a little bit playing that style, because the Cubs were able to find the back of the net twice. But outside of that, the Voodoos got to give themselves credit for showing a lot of resilience in those final 5 minutes of the game.
They do indeed, and you know what? That's team building activities right there for the Voodoos. You know, you talk about road trips and how your team can come together cohesively, but no, those big wins, especially in front of the home crowd here late when you're under fire, that can really build a team's identity as well, and it can really show you that, yes, we can play with the big boys in this league after the Cubs had a great second half of this game, and they've been a high-flying team, as mentioned, and now they've suffered 2 straight losses after winning their first 3, but now we'll go quickly to our final sponsor of the game.
Tonight's 3 Stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Accurate troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
The 3rd star of the game, surprise, surprise, number 93 for Sudbury, Billy Biederman, who had a goal and an assist in this one. The 2nd star of the game, Alex Little for the Voodoos, the captain. And the 1st star, number 11, Tucker Shields, who scored 2 goals in that 3rd period match. So that's the 3 stars here in this one. And you know what? All 3 very deserving.
Tucker Shields had 2 goals and an assist tonight. Alex Little with 4 assists on the night, on the first 2. Actually, on the first 3, and then he also assisted on the empty net goal for him. So Alex Little is really racking up the points here in the early going. He'll be up to 6 points now on the year with 2 goals and that 1 goal and the 4 assists tonight. So yeah, another good game for the captain. Another good game overall for the Powassan Voodoos, who tonight had 3 different goal scorers, and they had I believe 5 different goal scorers in the home opener just over a week ago here. So the Powassan Voodoos spreading out the production, and we'll see if that can continue, as our next broadcast will be this coming Wednesday when they host Espanola. So for Courtney Kenny, I'm Matthew Sucre, and once again we want to thank our broadcast sponsor for tonight's contest.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
So for Courtney Kenny and Ben Long, our producer here on site, we want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. And again, we'll be back on Wednesday. I'm Matthew Sucre saying enjoy the rest of your evening and have a great